Yo, I'm Alex from EDD Academy, and today we're going to be looking at College Board's official SAT practice test number 3. And just like my previous two videos, I will be solving the Math No Calculator section. Starting off with question number 1. Let me change my color here real quick. So, question 1 reads that a painter will paint n walls with the same size and shape in a building using a specific brand of paint. The painter's fee can be calculated by the expression n times k times l times h, where n is the number of walls, k is a constant with units of dollars per square foot, l is the length of each wall in feet, and h is the height of each wall in feet. If the customer asks the painter to use a more expensive brand of paint, which of the following factors in the expression would change? So we have our fee right here, and this is our total cost. But the only one of these factors in this expression that relates to money that would make the fee more expensive is K. Because like I said, it's the only one that relates to money. So that's our answer. Moving on to question 2. It says that if 3r equals 18, what is the value of 6r plus 3? So we have that 3r equals 18, and we want to solve for r, so we can divide by 3 on both sides. And we have that r equals 6. Plugging into this, we have that 6 times 6 plus 3. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 3 equals 39. Number 2 is D. Which of the following is equal to a to the 2/3 power for all values of a? So by definition, a to the 2/3 power is a squared, and that quantity cube rooted. If you need any review with fractional exponents, this is a question that uses it. So, like I said, as you can see here, the answer is D. The number of states that joined the United States between 1776 and 1849 is twice the number of states that joined between 1850 and 1900. If 30 states joined between 1776 and 1889, and X states joined between 1850 and 1900, which of the following is true? So we know that the number of states joined between 1776 and 1849 is 2x. Let's call it 2x, and that means the number of states joined between 1850 and 1900 is just x. But we know 30 equals 2x, and that is the equality we have there. So number 4 is B. So for number 5 reads, if 5 over x equals 15 over x plus 20, what is the value of x over 5? Rewriting our statement, our equation here, immediately, your first tactic should be cross-multiplying. So we say that 5 times quantity x plus 20 equals 15 times x. Distributing on this side, we have that 5x plus 100 equals 15x. Solving for x, we subtract 5x from both sides. So we have that 100 equals 15x minus 5x, which is 10x. And then we just want to isolate x, so we divide by 10 on both sides. So we have that 10 equals x. Plugging back into the question statement, x is 10, so we have 10 over 5, which is 2. That is answer choice C. So question 6 shows us a systems of equations problem that says, if xy is a solution to the systems of equations above, what is the value of x minus y? So just like any systems of equations problem, we can solve with either the substitution or elimination method, and I will use the elimination method here. So let me change colors again. We have that 2x minus 3y equals negative 14, and 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. I want to cancel this x term, so I have to multiply this top statement by 3 and this bottom statement by 2. So 3 times that and 2 times this. Rewriting this as 6x minus 9y equals negative 42, and 6x minus 4y equals negative 12. Subtracting this here, we have that. These cancel, and negative 9 minus negative 4y equals negative 42 minus negative 12. This double negative is actually addition, so we have that negative 9y plus 4y equals, and then the same thing here, negative 42 plus 12. Moving to the top, we have that negative 5y equals negative 30. Dividing both sides by negative 5, we have that y equals 6. And now that we have y equals 6, we can plug it back in to either one of these equations. Let's use the top one. So we have that 2x minus 3y, and y is 6. So 3 times 6 equals negative 14. So that means that 2x minus 18 equals negative 14. Adding 18 to both sides, 2x equals 4, and x equals 2. Right? That means, and we want to find this value, x minus y. We can write it over here. X minus y equals 2 minus 6 equals negative 4. Answer choice C is correct. Question 7 reads, the function f is defined by a polynomial. Some values of x and f of x are shown in the table above. Which of the following must be a factor of f of x? So we have these tables here, and if we look at our answer choices, they're all of the form x minus b, where b is just some number. And we want to look for which one of these is a factor of f of x. And if it's a factor, that means that f of b must be 0. Because if you think about the definition of a factor, and then based on the table here, the only value of x whose f of x correspondent is 0 is x equals 4. So any term or any answer choice involving 4 is correct. And once again, that is answer choice C. Question 8 reads, the line y equals kx plus 4, where k is a constant, is graphed in the xy plane. If the line contains the point CD, where C is not equal to 0 and D is not equal to 0, what is the slope of the line in terms of C and D? So we can rewrite this as y equals kx plus 4. As you can see, this is in slope-intercept form, where 4 is the y-intercept and k here is our slope. And the question reads, if the line contains the point CD, what is the slope of the line in terms of C and D? So in this case, C and D are taking the place of our usual XY coordinate pair. Thus, we can plug C and D into our equation. So like we said, C for X and D for Y. Thus, D equals K times C plus 4. And what is the slope of the line? The slope of the line is K, so we want to isolate this K. We can do that by subtracting 4 from both sides. Then we have D minus 4 equals KC. And then all we need to do here is divide both sides by C. And that gets us that D minus 4 over C equals K. And that is answer choice, it looks like A. Oh my. Okay, so once again, yet another systems of equations question. The College Board isn't very original. Nonetheless, the question reads, in the systems of equations above, K is a constant and X and Y are variables. For what value of K will the systems of equations have no solution? So if you think about geometrically, what would make, what factor would make the systems of equations have no solution? If you think about two lines graphed on the same graph together, they would have no solution, which means they would never intersect, they would never touch, only if they're parallel, right? Because no matter what the y-intercept, no matter what the x-intercept is, these two lines will never touch. They will just keep going on forever in the same direction. And what do these lines have in common? If not the x and y-intercept, it's their slope. So they're parallel, which means their slope is the same. And to isolate the slope in an equation like this, we want to write in, well, slope-intercept form. So we can rewrite this top equation, let's call equation 1 and equation 2. Equation 1 can be rewritten as y equals k over 3x minus 4 over 3. And k over 3 is clearly our slope. And equation 2 can be written as y equals 4/5 x minus 7/5, where once again 4/5 is the slope. And what does this mean? Like I said, because the two lines are parallel, these slopes are equal. Thus, k over 3 equals 4 over 5. And if we multiply both sides by 3 to get k alone, we have that k equals 4/5 times 3. And this can be written as k equals 12/5. And that is answer choice A. Question number 10 reads, in the xy plane, the parabola with equation y equals x minus 11 squared intersects the line with equation y equals 25 at 2 points, point A and point B. And we're asked, what is the length of the line segment AB? So we have these two equalities here. And we know that, so we want to find the intersection between the two. And if we want to do that, we can substitute in 25 for y, because we have that y equals this quadratic quantity here, but we also have that y equals this constant, this number. And if y equals this and y equals that, that means we can set these two equal to each other to find their intersection points. So if we do that, we have that 25 equals quantity x minus 11 squared, and we want to isolate x because we already have our y value here, and now we need our x value, because note that any point has the solution, or any point has the form xy, like any coordinate pair. So to isolate x, we can square root both sides, and we have that plus or minus 5 equals x minus 11, and that means x equals 16 and x equals 6. So our 2 points, A and B, are the points 6, 25 and 16, 25. And we want to find the distance between we want to find the distance of the line segment AB. So how do we do this? I am going to graph these 2 points, or attempt to graph these 2 points on the same graph, and see if we can find their distance that way. See if we need to use the Pythagorean theorem for the distance equation, or what exactly we need to do. So let's say this is x equals 6, this is x equals 16, this is y equals 25, so that means this 625 is point A, and this is point B at 1625. So we don't actually need to use the distance formula for this question, because they're actually on the same line. And the distance between these 2 points is actually just the distance between their x values, which is just 16 minus 10, which is, or excuse me, 16 minus 6, which is just 10. So once again, the solution to question 10 is A.